Hi guys, I'm Dr. Tara Tobias, neurologic physical therapist, and I just want to welcome you all back to my channel. In today's home exercise tutorial, this is kind of an add-on to the series I've done the last two videos. I talked a little bit about foot drop and some of the problems that can occur with that and how to correct that and how to actually carry it over into stepping. I hope you guys found that helpful. You guys helped me out a lot by leaving a lot of great comments, and I've gotten comments on this before as being a big problem, so I thought I would add this video in to address an issue that a lot of you are having, and that is your toes are curling. There's a lot of reasons why that happens. You know, usually there's some type of neurologic involvement either with your brain or your spinal cord that will cause that to happen. And it can be pretty problematic. Some people, it's painful. Others, it's just kind of annoying. They can feel it every time they go to step down with that foot. So I have a pretty easy exercise that I do in my clinic with patients with kind of a homemade product that I've made to help address that. So the main goal is to relearn how to load the leg. So relearn how to put weight on the leg, which is when the toes actually usually start to curl. Sometimes it's really just your body's just trying to gain stability, and we use our toes a lot for balance. But if it's too much, then it becomes what we call, or what I've been terming, an abnormal movement pattern. And definitely when they get curled under completely, now you have made your base of support that you're standing on smaller. So if you can see when your toes are curled under like that, now your base is smaller, and that's not good. And that can be a huge problem when it comes to you trying to maintain your balance. So the goal of this exercise is going to be, we are going to try and load the leg and block the toes from curling under. And again, like I've mentioned in a lot of videos, it's not an exercise you can do once or twice and see a dramatic difference in your walking. As with a lot of the videos, we're trying to retrain that brain what a normal movement pattern is. So we're going to use a tool to help keep the toes up and then work on the same progression that I've done with a lot of the standing exercises that I do, of slowly and progressively loading that lower extremity while blocking those toes. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you a product, like I had mentioned, a homemade product. It's basically a cutting board. The reason I use a cutting board is because they're pretty stiff, but yet they're also lightweight, so they're easy to carry around and use when you need them, and then put them away when you're not using them. So I've taken a cutting board and I've put a couple of like 3 door stops underneath it to kind of create like an incline board. And I use this a lot, sometimes just for stretching the ankle, sometimes to work on standing control without the foot pointing. I use it to kind of flex the foot a little bit more. But in this case, what I do is I actually duct tape, just a marker. I try and use stuff that I have in my clinic to create tools to help me block certain movements that I don't want. And then I just have these pads. I have a ton of these pads laying around. So I've just taken a little bit of padding and just duct taped a little bit of padding over it just to make it not painful. Remember, pain can trigger a spasm as well. So when I use tools, I'm trying to find something that'll block an abnormal movement pattern without it being painful, so that that's not going to contribute to that abnormal movement pattern or that spasticity. Once you have your tool set up, we're just going to stand on it. You're going to have both feet on the ground and you're literally just standing on it with your toes extended. Now, this alone is going to be challenging for a lot of people. If you need to start in sitting, go ahead and start in sitting with your foot on this incline board until you get comfortable with it. That's an okay position if it's extremely painful. However, standing allows you to use more of your body weight to keep the foot in this position, or to put a little bit more weight on it so that you can benefit more from the little, what I will call a little dowel rod underneath the toes that's lifting the toes up. And then again, just like I've done in other videos, you're gonna slowly move that weight over. Start with just a little heel lift. So you're not taking all your weight off your other leg, but you are shifting a little bit more weight to this leg. I'll put a link up here to a video that works on the progression of just learning how to load your involved leg. That's extremely helpful. That also goes through this progression, but you'll see kind of how I load the leg and also control the knee and the hip. So if you haven't watched that video, that video is definitely almost like a prerequisite to this one, because you don't want to neglect the hip and the knee and let that get out of alignment when you start addressing the toe. So this is just an additional tool that you could add to that standing progression where I go over how to load that leg. But it's very similar in this exercise as well. And once you get good at that heel lift, then you can shift over and do like a little slide out to the side and back in. That's going to challenge your hip control a little bit more. A lot of times when you slide the uninvolved leg out to the side, the tendency is going to be for that hip to either pop out to the side or pop out to the back, and you're really trying to control that. So it's really working that standing control with the toes extended and now increasing the challenge without letting those toes curl. So that's what these next series of exercises are doing, is we're slowly increasing the difficulty. And as I've said this before, we're trying to teach the body normal movement patterns. So if the toes start to curl under, or sometimes they even curl around that dowel, then don't move on. Just go stick with the standing until your foot gets comfortable with a little bit of weight on it, with the toes extended and not curling under. And then if you get good at that, this one's a little bit usually more challenging, or where you'll see those toes try and curl a little bit more. Go ahead and slide the foot forward and slide the foot back. So we went out to the side first. Now we're gonna go forwards and backwards, and then forward and backward, and then again forwards and backwards. And then before we go on to completely unloading the leg, what you're gonna do now is you're just gonna rest your uninvolved leg up on a yoga block or something where that foot is going to be up a little bit higher. That just shifts more of the weight over onto the involved leg that we're working. And again, the goal is that the toes do not curl with this added weight on that leg. And again, don't forget, we still want to make sure that the knee is not popping back and that the hip's not popping out to the side, which again, that video that I shared, that I referenced earlier, that addresses that. So you still want to make sure that you're maintaining proper alignment. The knee and the hip position is extremely important. And then once you get good at just resting the foot on the yoga block, now we're going to work on completely unloading the uninvolved leg. So now you're literally shifting all of your weight onto the involved leg. So you're going to start with the yoga block in between your legs. There's going to be a progression here, so you will notice I have two different thickness yoga blocks. I've started with the thinnest yoga block that I have, and I've put it in between my feet long ways, or with the wide side down. That gives me a nice wide platform, a nice stable wide platform to now pick my uninvolved leg up and set it on that block. And then because I have the luxury of a lot of different size yoga blocks, I've switched to a thicker yoga block that I have. You can use anything, just get the concept of what I'm doing as far as how I'm progressing it. And now that thicker yoga block is going to require me to lift that other leg up even higher to get it onto the block. And what it's doing is it's just forcing me to maintain my balance, or standing on that one leg, my involved leg, a little bit longer, because I have to now lift my leg up to a little bit of a higher surface. And again, I know you guys probably think I repeat myself a lot, but there's certain key points that I want you to hear over and over again to just drive the point home. I do it with patients in my clinic too. Some of them make fun of me for it. Some of them say that they hear me in their sleep, but they're the things that I think are super duper important. I want you hearing me saying it over and over and over again so that it really drives that point home. And when you're doing these exercises, these are the key things that you remember. So if the toes curl, when you switch to the thicker block, go back to the smaller block. It is almost counterproductive, since we're working on keeping the toes extended or preventing them from curling under. So it's counterproductive to set yourself up in this position and then allow your toes to curl, or even I would go as far as allowing that ankle to roll out to the side, allowing the knee to pop back, allowing the hip to pop back. That's all gonna teach your brain an abnormal movement pattern if you continue to do it that way. So there's nothing wrong with just going back to the previous step in any progression that I show and really perfecting that movement with a normal movement pattern. So then once you get comfortable with this wider block, I can still progress it with this same block. This is going to get a lot more challenging. Now I'm going to flip the block so the narrower side is down and the block is now taller and thinner. Creates a more unstable surface. That's an added challenge. You have to lift the leg up higher, which is also an added challenge. So you're having to stand on that involved leg a little bit longer. And then also you can't really slap your foot back down on the block when it's in this position because it will tip over. If you find that your leg is shaking or the block is shaking side to side, then go back to the side where it's wider, because that just means that you're not really getting all of your weight over to your involved leg, and you might not be ready for this progression. So if you're losing your balance or your foot is immediately falling off the block or the block is tipping over, then do not do this progression. It is not going to help you in the end and get to your end goal. Go back to the wider block and really perfect that with the toes staying up. And then these are just a few of my favorites, but there's really a lot of different positions that you can do to really challenge that involved leg with this little homemade tool that I've made underneath your foot, making sure again that those toes are staying up. So just to reiterate, your toes curling is an abnormal movement pattern. So to retrain or to stop them from curling, you have to practice retraining the brain a normal movement pattern. Once you feel like you're not getting that involuntary toe curling when it's on this tool, and you'll feel it because you'll feel the pressure of that dowel as your toes try and curl down, and that dowel kind of stops it. The progression from here would be to remove that altogether and to actually practice just keeping your toes up and going through this same progression. But you really need to first undo the involuntary toe curling, which this exercise will do. 2, make sure that the muscles that allow those toes to go up, lift up, or go into extension are stretched out, which again, this tool will do. And then once you've mastered those, you can go on to working what we call like active toe extension. So I'd remove the tool altogether, go through this same progression, and just try and lift the toes up just a tiny bit off the ground and work on loading that leg. That's really challenging even for someone who hasn't had a neurologic injury, and that is because we use our toes to help us maintain our balance. But that's just taking it one step further and learning how to actively extend those toes when you're standing on the leg. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments. This is what inspires a lot of these video ideas. So keep the comments coming. I got a lot of comments this week for some reason on a lot of different videos. So if I happen to miss one of your comments, just put another comment in there. I think I got to all of them, but again, I want to be able to answer all of your questions. So if I didn't get to one of your comments or one of your questions or problems, just go ahead and leave me another comment. So hopefully I can get that. You can always email me by going to my website. The link for that is in the description below. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, go ahead and click the link in the description to sign up for my newsletter. I send out only like 1 email a week. I'm not going to bombard your inbox with a ton of emails, but something with a little bit of inspiration. Sometimes there's some tips in there that I don't necessarily cover in a video. And then if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click that notification bell so that you can get notified when I post new videos. Give this video a like. Also, keep putting in the comments hashtag foot drop. There were a lot more people that are dealing with foot drop than I initially thought. That's definitely telling me that I probably need to do more videos on foot drop. And again, I thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the kind words and all of the great comments. Share these videos. You never know who you could possibly help by sharing one of these videos with someone who might be suffering from similar issues, Again, as I've said, have fun with this video. Don't get frustrated. Stay the course. Stay the course. Keep striving for that 1% better. And when you get discouraged, think about where you started and all the things that you've accomplished. You may not be where you want to be yet, but you're on your way. So focus on the here and now and what you're accomplishing right now. You will get to that end goal before you know it. So keep working hard. And until next time, you all have a great day.